a very good morning and warm welcome. And I think you guys are enjoying the sessions in both stage 1 and stage 2. So let us continue with the human-centric design, which I'll be talking for another 20 minutes at least, and open the questions for 10 minutes. So before starting, I want to take a quick moment about the safety because it's a long day for you guys and you're all working from home, hopefully safe, not in office due to pandemic. So make sure you have a home safety, child proof, the stoves are off, not using anything. And since it's a long day, use the ergonomic one, clear pathways and lightning. And also, since it's a virtual meeting, keep your phone away and concentrate on the sessions. That's it. So agenda for today will be about me, a quick one, and which already gave, and then the human-centered design. What are the mindset required, and what are the process used in this, and some of the examples which I want to share, and some pointers, and also the learnings out of my human-centric design practice so far. And we'll take a Q&A for that. So about me, as provided in the LinkedIn. I have a 14 years of diverse IT experience in product management and consultancy, and been a very passionate and value driven and safe POPM certified, and currently have launched digital transformation products like data and analytics and SaaS platform. I do coaching and mentoring on product management skills via conducting some workshops and webinars. So that's about me. So moving to human-centered design. So as you see here, you can see what are all the things this human-centered design covers. It touches all the places of design thinking, user experience, the service design, and the system thinking like that. So what do you think human-centered design is? So it's basically an approach uh, of problem solving, which is heavily used in design and management sectors, always thinking human perspectives in the mind during the problem solving process. So that is what makes the human-centered designs. And also, this design focuses on people's everyday thinking, emotion, and behavior. So that's the reason that is what you see here. It's more about the people's everyday's behavior and the emotions towards that. So what exactly why we need is, as Steve Jobs says, is the broader one's understanding of the human experience, the better design we will have. That's for true. So it's basically once you understand the human experience broader, then you can have a design better for their purpose. So the product management is purely about design and providing the better products to our customers or users, or solving the problems of the people in everyday's job, right? So that is why this is hard and tightly coupled with the product management space. And this is kind of followed from ages. You will understand when I share the examples how it is tackled in the from ages and all. So that's the reason this is more keen towards the product management. So how the business impact happens when the enterprise or you start using the human-centered design is something what is mentioned from the Forrester analysis is using this design practice, the enterprise has seen the higher revenue from the traditional organization by 32%, and also the deliver outcome has been faster to the market by 2x, which is very faster, so that we solve the problem and we reach the market faster. And then the companies outperform. The S&P has been increased by 500. It's almost like 219%. So this is the 2018 data. So I think now it will be more than this. So the human-centered design or design thinking, it really impacts your business and the organization one. So what are the mindsets required to practice these human-centered designs? So basically, as a product manager or a team, you should have this list of mindset in your mind when you try to practice these things when solving a problem, right, in your space. So the first thing is the confidence about the creativity. As you know, product management is a part of more on creativity side, but in HCD you need a lot of confidence and the creativity part, and the make it possible part where you link the optimistic, like you are sure and true that this will happen for sure, the ideas or problem solving things, right? And you should be open for a learn from failure, having a failure mindset. You shouldn't be not stopping you to do any kind of new things or a silly or a funny things for solving a problem. You should be open for failure and learn out of that. And also that you should also embrace the ambiguity when you're trying to solve the problem using the HCD mindset. And as since it heavily involves the people's behavior and emotion, you should have a lot of empathy toward the users or the customer or the problem you're solving, to understand from their mindset. And also the iterate mindset, it's not like everything you shouldn't feel that you should do at a single point to do something directly. So you should have the iterate mindset, where you learn and you iterate everything over again and again. So these are the basic mindset which involves in the product management and also in the HCD, like that. So what is the process we use here? As you see in the design thinking, it is been observed, iterate, prototype, ideate, like that and all. But when it comes to HCD, the IDEO, the what you see the image source here, it is heavily followed the HCD process. The IDEO is a design kit or the design website or the design organization itself, the non-profit organization, where they solve the problem from the HCD perspective. Here the process what they follow is more on inspiration, ideation and implementation. Though the design thing follows the 6 steps of observation, in ideate, prototype and implement, and iterate, right? So these are all clubbed to 3 I's, what we call inspire, where you try to learn the people's problem and you will observe their lives and their day-to-day activities, and you hope and desire to solve that problem. So as you see in this inspiration, you have this will answer, how do I get started, how do I conduct any interviews to understand the user, and how do I stay human centered. That is the inspired part. And it shows, especially you should diverge your thoughts here when you're doing, and you have to stick to that phase initially. And this is little smaller phase compared to the other 2 phases, which will be a very long process one. So in the ideation phase, what you do once you understand the problem and the user, what they're trying to do, you come up with a lot of ideas using the problem solving techniques, right? Whether it is desirable and feasible and viability one, keeping that in mind, you generate tons of ideas and you identify opportunity where we can do some design test and change your solutions based on the requirement or the user needs, like that. So in this phase, you see you come converge and also you diverge based on the thoughts what you are trying to solve. And you when we are doing the prototype in this phase, so this try to solve the problems like, how do I interpret what I learned in the inspire phase, and how do I make my insight into tangible solutions. Like you will come up with wireframes, low fidelity diagrams, and even some boards or even some game itself. Because when you see even by storytelling or the games what you make the user interactive and also apply to the design thinking, that makes life simple and it helps to prototype and test it. So this is the phase where you do prototype and testing of the ideation, and in this phase you shouldn't hesitate. I should do only 1 or 2, and also you should do which is very challenging and which you feel this is something silly and this is something going to be have lots of fun, and also understand the user one. So this is the phase where you do both converge and diverge part. And last which is a pretty longer phase, or compared to the other two, it's an implementation phase, because here you do a lot of iterations and you do a lot of testing and understand them clearly. So you get a chance to bring the solution to life. It's basically when you prepare a skeleton in ideation, you give life to the implementation part, and you maximize the impact of that, even by coming up with the business model, like how it is viable to the enterprise or the organization itself. So that's the reason it's a little longer phase, and definitely it needs a lot of converge methodologies to apply. And you plan the sustainability here, and also you make sure it works, it really works to the user what you're trying to solve. So this is the process part. What is about this one. Next, coming to some of the examples which I want to share. So as I said, it is not the HCD process what we are using. It's not very recent. It is followed from ages. So most of you know the Kellogg, and it's kind of the breakfast used by worldwide nowadays, like that. So it started in 1984 by the Kellogg, WK Kellogg. So it actually happened accidentally when he left something on a stove, and overnight it got very hard and crisp thing. So it was very useful to feed his own brother who was hospitalized, and also it was like more fiber and the digestive thing. So that itself made a testing that this can be used by as a breakfast, to as a light breakfast where you are hospitalized, or you want to keep it very simple, not the heavy one. And due to this innovation, it went to a lot of things, like the marketing, the acquisitions, like that, and all that made $1 billion company here itself. So you can think of how the human-centered design has been applied when designing these kind of things. Especially it leads to an innovative products, and it matches, or the tailoring happens very neatly, that it solves the user expectation or problems what we are trying to do here. So that was one of the Kellogg example. And next is the Airbnb. As you already know, this user experience is so widely accepted, and also it solves so many hard things when you try to do any booking of in a unknown place, for example, right, where you travel and a lot of unknown things are there. So Airbnb is such a great example for every part of the product management. Either it can be a marketing, or it can be a design thinking, or it can be how you want to solve a problem, or how you want to do an UX or the design, especially the website or anything like that. So that is again followed from the HCD perspective. So it's a great example for whole product management space, not only for HCD, I would say. Next comes the Trello. The very good part of Trello is it's very compact. It is not having lot of features. Usually what happens in the product management, after MVP, you keep on iterating and implement lot of features, thinking it is required, or the market expects, or you want to showcase that either it can be AI or MI, anything, ML, like that, anything, right? But Trello, what it does, right, it concentrates only the compact users, and it only gives the necessary features for the users following the HCD process. It's not too much towards what is required. So next one, I wanted to show a video for, especially it's more on hook fit designing, where we want to see the recent changes happening in this space, like that. Let me know, can you guys see the video and hear the sound?
No, we cannot. We can only see your presentation.
Okay, let me share that again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you share the audio as well.
Yeah, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Share sound. Okay. Can you listen?
Okay, everyone, just hold on for a second. Maybe just reloading the page will help. It seems the video is not loading. Meanwhile, guys, collect your thoughts and get your questions ready for Manasa after this presentation. So please watch the video carefully and attentively, and I hope you were following her presentation.
Let me refresh it. It was a quick video, just very interactive.
Yeah, no problem. These things happen, especially with technology all the time. Something happens.
Yeah.
Something doesn't load.
Can you see the video now?
We cannot. I could hear, but there was no image.
Let me see. Can you see now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hope you guys were able to see the video with all the hassles. So yeah, so as you saw in the video, right, it's more on how you want to do that, especially for example, this changes what is happening the fitting room, especially where you want to change the things, uh, like you can go and change the settings or what you prefer, and you get assistance directly where the user thinks, or the behavior or the emotions being captured very well, and without the this is the quite common thing, right? When we go for air fitting rooms, so we think the size or the color changes, something is required, and we need a lot of assistance, or we spend a lot of time again searching for that, and then do the changes required for ourselves, like that. So that has been changed by using this fitting room of enabled with the new technologies, and also with the applications and assistance being provided. Yeah, these are some of the great examples, though it is kind of this generation and little from the older generation, but you might have seen when you just Google for HCD example, you will understand push pull doors, or even the kids toothbrush, or how it has been designed, like you, that you have plenty of designs happening in, especially thinking the people's mindset in the mind when we work as a product managers. So that was the example sections. Now moving to pointers. Yeah, pointers basically, here I wanted to suggest in each and every stages of the HCD process, or what are the tool sets we want to use, and the skill set, like how we want to craft, or the mindset why we are doing this, and how we can apply that. So that was the pointers which I wanted to share. So when you are in the inspiration stage, you should come up with a vision of what product or the problem you are exploring, and come up with the empathy map, understanding the users. While you observe them, you need a skill sets of listening with intent, like you are listening to during the user interviews or the customer interviews, like that, and crafting a brief things about your design after understanding that. And mindset is, this is completely, as I said, apart from HCD, when it comes to product management, you have to live in curiosity only. And also empathizing is, it's a everything. Empathizing, it's as a human being, right? When you work professionally or personally also, that is a great thing which builds our personal thing also, and also definitely with the product management professional things. And don't do the constraint part. As I said, it should be embracing the constraint one. When we come to ideate phase, as it's more on the prototyping part, right, you have to challenge your assumptions, and you have to design for the extreme. Always think of extreme instead of constraining for the smaller part. And across value chain, these are the tool set you have to remember. What is the value chain you are giving from across the product management space. And also the brainstorming, it should be hybrid. Skills what you need, you should do a lot of brainstorming in the ideation phase, especially when you do prototype or do some testing over that. And always the ideas should be quantity over quality of ideas. What are the different quality types you want to implement during when you're clubbing tons of ideas here, like that. And yeah, implement phase, since it relates to the business or the viability, and at the longer run, right, you have to do a lot of business models, keeping in mind how you can generate revenues. And also what are the OKRs you want to set, the object key results, especially when you pick up a design and done with the testing, right, like that. And the skills what you need to maintain the stakeholder management, you should have a lot of storytelling, linking the real life, and making more tangible. That is what this phase comes up. And definitely it needs collaboration from different parts of product management, either it can be marketing, the engineering, or the designers, like that. And here the mindset, it's definitely the business mindset, because it's always thinking from the business viability purpose, as a product manager itself. And the fail faster, which comes here in the mindset of all the phases, I would say. Think of more and learning from the failure, like that. So these are the pointers I want to give, the tools and skills and mind you should have when you start using the HCD, practicing the HCD one. And moving to my learnings, especially as I said, I have worked in a lot of both medium sized and the bigger enterprises, especially, and where the products being what we call multiple products, as you all know, shall we it is more on to the multiple products of the downstream related one. So there, when I was solving a lot of problems, especially for internal users or external users, so these are some of the learnings what I gathered, like that. The inspiration phase, the conversations starters, like where I used to converse more with the people or the team members, and observing the peers, collaging that everything into one place, and doing some card sorting, like how should I merge that and make it one, something like that. In ideation phase, I heavily use the how might we statement, the HMW statement, to make it sure whether we have a proper template filled, whether the problem statements been approved or analyzed by each and everyone, where the team understand the problem, right. And the brainstorming is required to do these kind of activities, and thinking the DVF framework, the desirability, viability, and the feasibility one. So that is the design principles which I heavily learned in last 4 to 5 years, especially in the product management space. And during the implementation phase, yeah, being the fail faster mindset, the prototyping, lot of prototyping and testing that with the real users was really good learning for anyone who start their career, and also in the mid career part. And the partnerships or the stakeholder things, right? Either it can be when it talks to partnership, it will be external, but internally it's more on the stakeholders. So you have to build that network with all the stakeholders required for that, and use different types of framework when we do implementation. Either it can be a new or the existing one, something like that will help more on this one. So these are my learnings, and I'm open for the questions now.
Thank you so much, Manasa. This was beautiful. And I hope everybody got introduced to the principles of human-centered design. And I hope you guys have questions. You have 4 minutes exactly to ask your questions if you do. So raise your hand if you want to ask, or type your question in chat. And meanwhile, I'm going to ask you a question about how these principles that you have learned about human-centered design changed your attitude to product management and changed the way you work in product management.
Yeah, so as I said, it's more on the people's one, right? So it changes completely as a person itself, not only in the product management, because it's more on the emotion or the behavior. So it's always like thinking myself as a user, walking put in their shoes. Usually it happens, right? When you are in some pain, you won't understand me. You should walk and understand me, right? Along with me, or putting your this one in my shoes, like that. This is the standard one. So it is a similar perspective, being empathized, and you have to walk in their shoes to learn it more. So when you learn that more, it solves half of the problem, and you know what to design better. And since you understand their mindset, it will be like serving for them. It's not only the politics about serving the nation or serving the one. As a product manager, you should serve your customer. You should serve them appropriately, so that they are happy and you get that viability part to your business from that.
Has that view changed your personal life in any way?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, especially after understanding these techniques from the user one, I can see around the world with a different mindset only. So I can see each and everything more from the empathy perspective. Either it can when I travel outside, or when I meet hospitality or anything like that, right? So I can see that how the people are empathized, or how they want to help you when you are in a trouble, right? Something like that. So knowing them better will make life simple. It's at work and also at life, right? It's something which changes you as a person also.
What a beautiful note to finish your beautiful presentation on. Thank you so much for sharing this design principles, and I hope that all the product managers, and not only listening to us, will get the valuables for them. Thank you so much, Manasa.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day, everyone. Be safe. Thank you. Bye.